So probably you just have to dive deeper into our policy.
Okay, I'm sorry, we won't take a second question. Can we take this offline?
We'll speak later.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a question.
Yeah, Ravi.
One second, come.
Hello. For about 100 people trying to have a startup, probably only 5 or 10 succeed. And if a doctor is operating on a patient life and death situation, it's just a monitor that tells whether the life is on or off. So which time do you realize that you should continue? There should be more gestation period. Some of them may not see the break even for a very long time, and success may be even infinity. So some of these startup people can throw light on as to when do you realize that you should still sustain, you should still hang around, maybe some help will come from somewhere, or whether you should wind up and look for something else.
Okay, so I will take that as a suggestion to all the startups on the stage.
So Ravi, there is
I'll answer you.
Yes,
Answer you.
please.
I think he wants to know what we are doing. See, we are also trying to figure that thing out. So the only way of trying to do that is, firstly, I have to build a very strong ecosystem for mentoring. Okay, and we are trying to do that as well. In fact, we have spoken to Tai, and if you we have opened up a startup cell where mentors can come and register with themselves, and over 60, I'm assuming around 60 mentors are, I don't know, is Satya around to validate? How many people? 56 people, mentors, have registered with the startup cell to help us help the startups. So that is one thing. And I think Ravi and me had this conversation a couple of months back, wherein we are trying to figure out what to do with these medium enterprises who are more than 5 years old, but still they're surviving on their own revenues, but they're not profitable. But they need capital influx so that they can go throughout the country, or they can expand globally. So we are working there, because that enterprise thing, after 5 years, that gestation is long for you to become an untouchable with seed funding or VCs. So we are figuring a way out. If you have an idea, we'll be more than happy to lap it up.
one quick.
Sundar, please, go ahead. Quick
So
question.
one quick thing which I see is, the idea is fantastic, the product is very good technically, but what is underestimated by most startups is the marketing effort and the sales effort which is required, right? And that becomes the real crux, because finally you have to make money, right? There are no freebies anywhere, right? So even if a company like Nokia, for example, when it launched the first cell phone, the effort it took to make the cell phone was much less than its marketing effort and the risk they took.
Got it.
And so that's one thing which is underestimated.
So the go to
that's one
market is
reason,
very important, I
That's
guess.
one thing which I see is a big turning point.
So if I'm able to build a good mentoring ecosystem, then I'm sure that the marketing thing will be addressed in that.
Sir, this is exactly what the Bangalore Chamber of Industries and Commerce, BCIC, is doing. We are also looking at our president. I'm the president of the BCIC. We are looking at mentoring. We're not looking at the funding side, or we're not looking at any side. Looking at mentoring, and I think your colleague was there for our KR Shekhar from Deloitte. I think he's invited you. You were not available, but we should be having the second round in March, second week. So I would like to, say that even BCIC can be a part of the mentoring process.
We have enough mentors. If you have funds, we'll be happy.
Sir, time is money, sir. So I think our, captains of industries will spend a lot of time. That is one. And secondly, there is a lot of education institutes. You can actually use a few selective education institutes to actually, the teachers, the HODs, the PhDs. Huge dearth of talent is available in the state of Karnataka. So I would suggest that the education institutes also can get into the process of, validating and, your think tank as well.
So that happens with our program called the New Age Incubation Networks, NAIN, wherein we fund up to 3 lakhs per student group, and for engineering colleges or universities outside Bengaluru, so that innovation is bred right at the bottom of the pyramid. And we have seen that being a very successful model, with more than 72 company incorporations and 17 company incorporations and 2 patents, I think. So 72 odd prototypes and 17 company incorporations and 2 patents from this scheme of ours. And this year we are going to expand it to 50 other universities and colleges.
Very good. We take one last question from the audience, and then I'll come. Go ahead.
Yeah, One of the things which I can suggest is
Hello.
that if
Hello,
both-
good afternoon.
Sorry.
I am Syed Sajjad Ahmed. Sir, I want to represent the local.
We've already got a question going. I'll come to you next.
Yes.
We'll take yours as the last one. Go ahead, sir.
Priyank, one of the things most of the startups need is customers, and maybe all of us who are reasonably well-off companies as well as government can think of putting 1% of our purchases to startup companies for the first 3 years of their life. That is something which will help them the most.
Yeah, so that's what I was telling Anand also. I don't mind doing it, but at the end of the day, the government is answerable to you as well. So let me complete. So let's assume that Chai Point is there, and they're a startup. So if the choice is left to me, I'd love to have their boxy in Vidhan Soda tomorrow itself. But then I'm going to be questioned, why did you only choose Chai Point and not something like Coffee Day or Hatti Coffee? Number one. Number two is because there's a procurement process in this thing. So, because at the end of the day, it's not my money, it's your money. It's the taxpayers' money. So I have to follow certain this thing. That's the reason why I was asking, how can the government validate your idea? Is there a pilot that I can give you which can act as a successful model for you to get more clients?
Anand, I hope you took note. Yeah. So we'll take one last question and then I'll come to you.
You
Thank
can
you
work
for-
on a PHC if you want to.
Sir, thank you for giving me a last chance to speak, sir. Sir, I am very happy to listen the talents of the engineers. So I wanted to tell about the unsuccessful technocrat or innovator like me, sir.
Okay.
Sir, sir, see, last time all of you people may knowing that solar impulse car made a circumnavigation of globe. The same way I made a circumnavigation of India in my handmade solar car last year for 8,000 kilometers with the title APJ, A Journey for Change to Inspire APJ Abdul Kalam Vision 2020. So what I am now wanted to tell the learned audience here is, see the local innovators, many innovations come from the local category of the people. So they are very much ignored, sir. I request the Honorable Minister to see something like the people, the police people catch hold the thief or the accused. Like
Okay.
this, you people should find out the talent of the innovator, and they should take us or take our knowledge and put it to the development of
Thank
this
you.
thing. So in 2002, I made an electric two-wheeler. 2003, I made a auto rickshaw. Before the invent of electric auto rickshaw from China, I made a auto rickshaw. Before the
Okay.
auto rickshaw, and I made a electro solar car. From that, I made a journey of 8,000 kilometers.
Right.
Last year, I was in the journey, sir. So, very much depressed that why we people are not picked up by the organization departments. So, I want to represent the local community. I'm a 12th standard dropout, sir. Some
Thank you.
dropouts, they're making innovations.
I think-
Please value them, sir.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
I think you've done a very good job of representing them. Any comment on grassroots innovation,
Yes,
how we
so,
capture that?
Primarily, the startup cell is for homebred startups only. That is the first point. And the thing is, we are innovations across sectors, anywhere, whether it's for rural innovation or whether it is for aerospace innovations, we are open to the idea. In fact, ours is the only state who has 10 crores set aside for any agri-innovation. We have a social impact fund. In fact, we are calling out, wherein we call out for proposals and anybody can apply for that. I'm sorry about your previous experiences, but the government policies are really not that as fast as the technology, you know. So by the ecosystem is already being built, and now we are catering to the ecosystem now. For example, we have banned carpooling, which is a regressive step, is my personal opinion, but it's a Motor Vehicles Act of 1988, which we need to change. So the policies are changing, and whether it is innovation right at the top or at the bottom of the pyramid, we are going to ensure that it is being right. But you speak well, so even I'm a failed entrepreneur, you can always become a politician. No, the thing is, I was telling Amuli that already one chaiwala has become the prime minister. I hope he also doesn't come, then I lose my job.
So, Minister, sir, this is Vaidyanathan. Sir, I had a question, sir. We are talking about ESDM manufacturing setup. There is an urgent need for small test labs in every industrial estate. Like, we need to talk about, if you talk of CE certification, EMI, EMC, and such testing and basic certification, if you go to TUV and such people, the charges are 5 lakhs upwards. So there is a need for creating small test labs in different industrial estates so that anybody who wants to do can do. Or with the Karnataka proactive policy that you have taken, you could talk about a subsidy for us to take up that urgently, sir.
If you heard, sorry, anything else?
No, that's
If you heard the Honorable Chief Minister speak yesterday, he did mention about this. One was about the sunset policy of the SEZs, and the other thing he mentioned about announcing a couple of acres for testing and giving around 2 acres to 3, 2 or 3 acres for manufacturing testing, and also 5 crore fund for that. For this thing. So, and plus, if you have anything more to add to that, I would be more than happy if you could just send me a
Sure, sir,
note.
I'll send a note, sir.
Please.
In addition, we are also setting up common instrumentation facilities.
I'm aware of it, ma'am. I'm aware
So
of
5
it.
to 6 have been recently approved.
I'm aware.
And one VLSI incubation cum testing facility is going to be established in Hubli.
Right.
So we already have funded one characterization lab in STPI here in Bangalore, and also in the IIIT Bangalore. So point is to, kind of network all these testing facilities and publicize it more so that, these facilities could be made use of.
Absolutely, ma'am. That sensitization and characterization will be the second of the things. First is the basic testing, and together with the network, it can be fantastic ecosystem for us to get it. Awesome, sir. Awesome, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you all for that very interesting interaction. Before I hand off the mic to the MC to invite our final speaker up, I wanted to thank the CII team for helping put this together. The various government departments that also helped across the board. It took a little bit of orchestration. And finally, a big round for the 10 startups who have come and given their time and cooperation too. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you. And of course, it's been quite a glittering galaxy of startups. And I now request the Minister, Mr. Priyank Kharge, to hand over tokens of gratitude on behalf of the organizers to each of our startup speakers, and also, but I thought that was after the, fine, that could, yeah, so let's finish the other round of speeches as well. Mr. Shailendra Singh, Joint Secretary, Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, to speak on the startup in India. Mr. Singh.
I have a presentation, but I would like to skip that. Honorable Minister on dais, fellow panelists, and ladies and friends. Startup India, which was launched in January last year, is just 1 year old. I mean, 30 years younger than the gentleman who was sitting beside me, Dynametrics owner. So we qualify as a startup. We are at a learning stage. But 1 year has been an incredible journey. Where we started and where we are now positioned, we never thought we would come thus far. And it's all because of the learnings which we had by interacting with all the stakeholders and taking up issues, discussing them, seeing which ministry, which agency, which department has to handle it, getting it done by the concerned ministry or department, and then taking bit by bit forward. Let me start by saying that we at Startup India, we are trying to build an ecosystem at the national and the state levels also, in which we want to take care of startups at every stage, starting from a registration of a startup as a company or as a firm, to all the compliances which the startup has to make, the funding issues, the mentoring, the incubation issues, as well as exit. We have made registration really easy. Though it's part of ease of doing business, but now within 2 days a company can be incorporated. We are also writing to the states to register a firm, which takes a longer time within 2 days, and we hope many states will respond. We have written to the states, and we have also issued notifications which are possible at the center level for known inspections and no compliance in various labor laws as well as environmental laws, so that the startups can focus on the job at hand, on the innovation, and not think about various compliances, which has to do with various central and state level agencies. On the funding, when we interacted with stakeholders, we are told that funding is real an issue. So we got it in the last budget. We got a fund of funds of 10,000 crores, which of course we are not disturbing the channel in which a startup has to approach a angel fund or a venture fund. So we are putting this money with venture funds and angel funds so that it becomes easier for them to scout for more money. We are taking care of the funding aspect also. We also got a feedback that banks don't lend to startups because innovative startups are risky business. So we are formulating a credit guarantee scheme of 2,000 crores, and within a month, I'm sure that I hope that it will be launched. So this is also to take care of the funding issues. You all know that we were struggling with an insolvency code for last many decades. It was passed by the parliament last year. We have put everything in place. The board is there. All the notifications have been issued. And we are trying to get startups issued, the notification issued for startups, so the startups would be able to wind up in 90 days. So this is a historic decision which has been taken, and we are working in those directions. So starting from entry till exit, we are taking care of everything. On facilitation also, we have done a lot. Like if a startup wants to file for a patent, it can go to we have a panel of 1,000 facilitators for patent, for various other things, for various IPR issues. From filing till the grant of patent, everything will be taken care of by these facilitators, and startups don't have to pay for them. From Government of India will pay directly to the facilitators. So all that we are taking care of. The patent filing fee for startups have been reduced by 80%. So you have to pay only 20% for a patent. So starting from, as I told, the whole ecosystem we are trying to build. We are trying to, and as the validation of idea was taken up, validation is done at various stages. At the initial stage, mentors, then the incubators, then the market, even government as a customer does validation. Earlier, startups were only looking for the 20, 25%, 30% procurement which was done by government. Now startups can compete with major players. We have removed the turnover and experience criteria for startups. And it has been removed for everyone, for all micro, small, and medium enterprises. The Ministry of MSME, Ministry of the Department of Expenditure, and the Department of Public Enterprises have issued now for the central government ministries, CPSUs, the public sector undertakings, you don't have to have this turnover and experience criteria. We have written to the state governments also to issue such a notification. I hope Karnataka will issue this notification along with other states, and this will really help startups getting a secured market. So we have, besides doing all these things, we have identified many other issues by interacting with you people. As I said, Startup India is also a startup. We have to learn from you and take the ideas forward. We have a host of issues which we have to do in the next few months. And you go to the Startup India portal, everything is there. What we have done is there, what we intend to do, all that is there. And we would like to have more suggestions from you, and whatever we can do for all of you, for the startups, for mentors, for investors, everything we would like to do. On one thing which I missed out on, incubation. Incubators are the most important stakeholder for the startup ecosystem. In all developed countries where the startup ecosystem has developed, we are lagging behind. They have really worked on incubators. Anyone with a good idea, any idea should enter an incubator, register himself or herself, and come out with a brilliant product. That is how we should develop incubators. And many ministries, Niti Aayog, DBT, DST, MSME, various other ministries are working on developing good incubators, world-class incubators. And we are also inviting corporates and academic institutions to work together to build these incubators. And we should have 1,000 world-class incubators in the country to really take this startup ecosystem forward. Thank you so much.